And welcome to round 10. Is it 10? No, round 9 of the Performance Racing League. Today we are going to have a Tier 1 race. And we will be loading into qualifying with you guys shortly. Ooh. And it looks like we're gonna have a wet one here. So it is round 10 at Silverstone. Welcome to all our viewers. We are live with you here from Silverstone. Silverstone is one of the greatest tracks on the Formula One calendar, and today we seem to be having a wet qualifying, so that will make things very interesting for this Tier 1 group. Leading the Tier 1 standings, we have Coder at 164 points, Corey second at 97, Josh at 91, and then following later behind, it's Astro at 41, Kenzie at 39, Husky at 36. The rest of them have 30 and under points, and the season is far from over. We are just back from our mid-season break, but there are still 11, I believe, races ahead, not just 10. We have 11 races ahead. We only did 9, and now we have the 11 on the back end, and anything can still happen. A lot of these pilots who are ahead can still drop back. Some of the guys that are back can still have plenty of time to make points up, so it's going to be amazing to see how these pilots do going into the second half of the season. We have a few cars out now. Coder's out, Solar's out, Little Chaz is out, and Kenzie's out. We'll be riding on board with them to see exactly how they do. Everyone seems to be out on inters. Unfortunately, the spectator does not get access to the weather data. I would love to see if we're going to have a dry race and just a wet qualifying. Here. Okay. I hear the game audio. Huh. Everything's fine. It's just hard for me to hear the actual cars. I can't hear the cars. It's very odd. I don't think my... Yeah, that's odd. Okay, that's fine. So, we have a couple of cars starting on their flying lap. We'll get those results in a bit. Let's see who's out. We have the Red Bulls. Lay off my salt and Solar. Oh, Solar's already on his flying lap. Salt's barely on his out lap. So 18 corners here at Silverstone that the drivers will have to negotiate in the wet as they seek to get points here tonight. Okay, so the audio is being transmitted, so it is just me. All right, perfect. All right, so we have Coder setting a time of 1:37, 2/10. Solar right behind him, 37 9/10. Corey's in the pit. Little Chaz on his flying lap, right on board with him and see how he does. Right from and he spins out and he hits the wall. Little Chaz is now out of the session. That's very unfortunate for McLaren. He'll have to start from the back now after that retirement. Salt up ahead, pushing on into Stowe. Will we go for another lap, or will this be his hit for him? Solar gets a 1:36.4. Oh, and Salt seems to be slowing down. I think this might be a charge lap. I don't think he's really... Oh, and Salt spins out right going into club. The slippery conditions here are making it very, very, very difficult to stay on track. There's 11 pilots here today, so I think these guys are going to want to make their best are going to try their best to get a good qualifying session. It's when you have half a grid, you do have better overtaking opportunities, and you do have less traffic to get through to make places up. So it does lighten the burden a bit, but it can still be difficult, because some of these guys also by default have more space to run around in. So because there's less cars competing for that spot, overall resulting in cleaner laps from some of the cleaner, faster guys. We have Phantom, who just sets a 140, coming in 5th. Easton, I hope I'm saying his name right. Easton. So many. To me, it looks like it should be like a Justin. Like trying to say that, but I have no idea. Easton sets a 38.0, goes into 4th. He's pushing on now, past Maggots and Beckett's. Is it Chapel Straight? I think this is a Chapel Straight. I spent a few minutes glancing at all the turn names, but I realized I don't know all the straight names. Yeah, it's Chapel Straight. Silverstone has a great deal of history. I was reading about Silverstone and how it used to be used as a military base. There's a lot of really cool, interesting history with that, British Silverstone Circuit. It's awesome coming here, racing here. I think we raced for Tier 2 probably 3 or 4 rounds ago. And we had a lot of fun here at the Silverstone Circuit. And it's going to be really nice to see the Tier 1 and see who gets the points out today. Corey Sewell going into the old pit lane straight, pushing into Cops, riding on board with him now. He has Husky following him. Or he hasn't set a time yet. Solar now. Is that Solar? I think that's Solar. Solar sets fastest time. The two Red Bulls are now at the front of the pack. Here's Corey, locks his wheels, going into the Vale turn. Rips it through Club, and can only manage a 4th place. Looks like the Red Bulls might have the qualifying advantage here in the wet. Could Corey be going for a 2nd lap? He might be. The good thing about the wets is that the tire degradation isn't as quick as it is with like maybe the softs, so you can get a couple of extra laps in on those wets and trust that you'll still get really good performance out of them. Phantom now, let's ride on board with him. Going on his outlap. Phantom's has managed his 7th place now. One of the things that these guys have to take in consideration is if their race is going to be dry, then their setups, they might not exactly want to have them full on wet, because then they're going to have a bad race or an affected race, you know, with not the ideal, they won't have the ideal setup for the weather in the race. So sometimes, depending on the weather, you have to you know, compromise and go maybe with a half wet, half dry setup, and then, you know, manage your best. And a lot of racing isn't just, you know, racing isn't just going out and, you know, on any setup and doing what you can. It's a lot of it, you know, is playing with the setups and getting every 10th you can out of that track. A lot of the guys here, you know, are all, you know, how would I say it, nerds, politely. So everyone really cares about their setups. Everyone's gonna, you know, maximize everything they have the knowledge over to try to build a faster car. We have equal performance here. The good thing about virtual online racing is that we have equal power cars. In real life, you have, you know, obviously the more financially well-off teams will have access to better engines. Oh, and things get squirrely for Phantom as he slides out, loses traction, and he's gonna have to throw this lap away. He wasn't able to start the way he wanted, and he spins. Yeah, conditions are very hard to handle for cars out there. Hopefully he doesn't get a penalty for it. Oh, and Phantom nearly goes into Coder. Ooh, that was a bit risque. Risque. Yeah, Phantom doing his best to spin back on track. Let's go on board with Coder now. He was able to slow down and avoid the Haas, you know, going wide, so no problems there, no contact made. So yeah, the benefits of having benefits of online racing is that, you know, everyone is on an equal stand, and it's not just about having an equal stand. At that point, you can, you know, still set it up. Everyone might have the same engine, but you can still play with the setups to maximize downforce or maximize straight line speed, depending on what track you are. And, you know, when you're racing, you go down a straight and you realize that some of these guys are just gonna out drag you. And then you get to the corners, and then you realize that some of these guys have just so much downforce on their car that they don't lose any momentum going through those turns, whereas a car that runs less aero will. You have to slow down to fight through the turns more because there's less downforce, and as a result you have to work harder to gain that momentum back during the straights. You know, and again, if you have the straight line speed, it may you may just come out even or ahead or sometimes behind. Depends on what track, depends on pilot, and, you know, depends on every variable, comes into play, and that's what really gives us, all these beautiful unexpected races. Is that we don't know who's gonna take it this time, and we don't know who's gonna make a mistake. We don't know anything. We can just sit here and watch, see how these guys manage. And so far, they've been managing pretty well. I'm not sure if Kenzie crashed and Radtix crashed earlier, or if they had their lap deleted. I'm only seeing that they might have wrecked earlier. I can't blame them. You're going really fast in the wet in Silverstone, and some of these turns are, 180 miles plus in the wet, and it isn't necessarily the easiest thing to slow down around a wet circuit. 2 minutes left in qualifiers. Only 7 cars have set times. 4 cars. Four cars still have not set any time yet. That's Radtix, Little Chaz, who did crash out, and the X side, the other Haas. So Coder just sets fastest time. I'm a little bit late, but Coder. I'm gonna see that purple number, that gray background. I really can't see his time. 36.2. Alright, so he gets 2/10 faster than Solar. The first 4 cars are all split by 4/10 of a second. So Coder, Solar, Salt, and Niexel now. Niexel rides up, finally sets a time, and then it's now 8 cars who've set times. And it's Corey, who now also goes up, puts a 36.0 with a couple seconds left on the clock. So these pilots were waiting for the last few minutes to get their nice, clean, fast lap out there. So Corey, he is taking. I wish I had. So I'm gonna make this complaint to the admins. We need to keep count of all the polls and all of the just the polls that everyone makes. There should be a poll award. If you get poll, that should be its own award in itself. Yeah, hold on, I'm writing this down in my notes. Yeah, I have notes. I took notes because I write notes about these tracks. You know where it is. But I'm not telling you anything else. Everything else is about how I prepare for this commentating stuff is now on me. So, few seconds left in the qualifying session. Corey leads the time session. Coder right behind him. Both of these guys have been going at it. We are very much seeing a Max Verstappen, Hamilton-like rivalry between Corey and Coder, and not gonna lie, this rivalry is very exciting. Coder is up ahead in points, but Corey has had some really spectacular races as well. So again, it's anything can happen. If Corey wins a few more races, he might be able to sneak by and overtake Coder in the points. Corey just gets a faster lap. He goes 35.8, going effectively about 4 to 5/10 faster than Coder in the wet. If this is a wet race, those statistics are going to matter a lot. But in the dry, we both know that those top 4 cars are really fast, so anything can happen. Coder getting a purple sector 2 as he passes through Stowe, passes the pit lane entry. Is he on target to get a faster time? Coder might just take pole away from Corey here. Coder does. Oh! And there is a Aston Martin waiting past the finish line. And Coder slams into him after he takes pole away from Corey. If this was real life, I would be really worried for him and about any possible concussions. But he's just driving away as if nothing happened, so I think he's okay. You know? I think he's gonna. I don't think he's gonna need any medical after this. That was really, like, like running into a car is not what you want to happen, but sometimes it happens. All right, so this is your lineup for the race of Silverstone. Coder takes first, followed by Corey, followed by the pair of Red Bulls, Salt Solar. Haas has their pilot Niexai. Dude, I'm just gonna say it because I have no idea how to say your name. Takes fifth. Husky with 6, Yestin 7th, Phantom 8th, and Radtex, Little Chats, Kenzie 9, 10, 11th. Alright guys, buckle in, and get your popcorn ready. We are about to go racing. Here, I'm gonna actually try something real quick. I might get the audio back. Yep, I got the audio back. I had to turn my controller off and on. I can now hear the cars in my audio jack again. There is 0% chance that the following noises you will hear is me ripping a bong. 0% chance that's me. It's probably a bird eating bird seed from the feeder outside. Zero percent chance I just took an awesome hit of that green ganja here in Texas, because that's what you do when you live in a free country. 0% chance. That was definitely not it. That was just me eating leftover grilled cheese sandwich. All right, here we go. The formation lap sets off, and we'll have the guys. We do have a dry session. Most of these guys, because we have a wet session, you have a free choice of tire. Let me see what tires these guys are on. Alright, so this is going to be interesting. Very interesting. So we have the top 3, Coder, Corey, and Salt, going on softs. So you have the Red Bulls split their strategy. Solar's going on mediums. This is going to come into play. This is going to be really important, because if there isn't any early safety cars, if everything goes as planned, that Red Bull will be able to go for longer, and that is going to give, that might be everything in terms of strategy. Let's see how it plays out. We have our predicted pit stop strategy brought to you by Amazon, and it's predicting that everyone pits at lap, I think 11, 10, 11. So you have 26 laps here. Ideally you run the softs for about 10 laps, then the mediums or the hards for the remainder. Safety cars change that, obviously, but that is the ideal strategy. You want to just have a one-stopper. Some of the other tracks like Brazil or Barcelona have up to 33, 36 laps, so some of those tracks end up being two-stoppers. But with Silverstone, it's a bit of a longer lap, so you get less total laps, So the cars come down into the pits, into the main straight again, as they line up after the formation lap. Nice formation. I think the formation lap is good because it lets the drivers just shake out all the nerves, and it lets them get used to the grip in their cars and see exactly, just lets them feel comfortable. All right, so here we go. And lights out at Silverstone. We have Coder leading the pack, followed by Corey. No incidents yet. The Red Bull goes off track. I think he safely rejoins. Everything's fine. There might have been a little bit of contact. Coder's fine. Corey's following right behind him. Salt. Nexile in the Haas has overtaken Solar. I think Nexile might have been the car that went off. Hopefully he doesn't get any penalties for that. He might have overtaken off track, but we'll see. Solar right behind him on the mediums, Husky on the softs. So far these cars, close racing, but no contact yet. Props to all these pilots for giving each other space. Little Chas yields to Yeston going into Maggots and Beckett's. Riding back up, Coder still leading the race, followed by Corey. Salt weaving as they push into Stowe. Coder riding on board with him now. Followed by Corey. Both of these guys are going to follow each other, and I think that there's going to be a really strong battle between both of these guys. Oh, and Kenzie has retired. Kenzie has DNF'd. Going into the last turn, he hit the wall. And that is just bad luck for Kenzie and the Irish fans following him. I know that he has thousands of Irish fans, and they're probably just mad in their pubs right now. Oh, what heartbreak if you're a Ferrari fan today. We have a virtual safety car. Fortunately, these guys don't have a full-on safety car, and fortunately, Kenzie is actually okay because he wasn't actually physically involved in that crash, because this is virtual. And thankfully, he doesn't owe his team thousands or millions of dollars, you know, to fix it, because imagine if these guys had to actually pay their teams every time they broke their cars. These guys would be in massive debt. They'd probably be selling their grandma right now. They would not have anything to eat. They would be on welfare. And we have the green flag here again, as Coder leads Corey and the rest of the pack. Going into the end of lap 2, only Kenzie's been the casualty. Phantom is the only car that's actually really far back. The rest of the pack is all within a tenth of each other in terms of interval. No one's more than a sixth away from each other, and this might be the tightest train that we've seen in a while. Corey is leading Salt by nearly a tenth, but that is the only noticeable gap here in Tier 1 at Silverstone. This train doing wonders. Pulling speed. This is what you want to see. You want to see a nice clean train that's just getting the drag out of the next car, not losing any time. All of these cars are showing that they want it. You have the Red Bulls up in 3rd and 5th. Salt in 3rd, not letting go of podium dreams. And we have Solar in 5th, right behind that Haas. And we have Husky in the Mercedes, pushing on. We have Ratex with a 3-second penalty. I'm not sure for what. Most likely track limits. These guys are racing with strict track limits on, so the white line is the boundary for the entire track. The white line is the boundary. The FIA here will only let you get away with going off track if it's like a legit spin, or if you really go off and try to rejoin quickly without overtaking any turns. If you go off track and you miss a turn because you want to come up further up ahead, you will get a penalty. And then it will be up to the stewards in the league to see if they want to get that away from you. And we have Corey wheel to wheel with Coder. Temporarily takes first, but Coder takes it right back from him. Both of these cars now within 2/10 of each other. Let's go on board with Corey in the McLaren. He's right behind Coder. Getting a draft, getting that toe. Little Chaz the McLaren, also a 3-second penalty. Corey with DRS. Goes in a stow with first place. What an overtake by Corey. What a move. Coder not letting go within 2/10. Coder will have the straight to get the toe. And as these guys go into farm, now they're going into village. Salt gets a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane as he pits. He now goes into the loop. He's being followed by Coder. They push on entry into the Wellington Straight. He has DRS. Coder gets close, but he doesn't get a pass. As they go to past Brooklands into Luffield, next side gets close up as they go down Old Pit Straight. These cars push on into cuffs, and Coder gets on the inside but can't get the overtake as they push on after cops. The top three go into Maggots and Beckett's, and it's close action from this trio. They push on through the S's section down into the Chapel Straight. You get DRS again, and Coder gets it. His wing is open, but and he gets the pass. Corey got the pass last lap. Coder gets the pass this lap. Will we see these cars trade places? Coder now leading. These were some amazing action-packed laps from these front leading cars. Wow, I'm so glad they didn't touch. I'm so glad they respected each other's space. I'm so glad they pushed each other. If either of these cars makes a mistake, you give the win away to the other. You cannot make any mistakes here in Tier 1. Corey following Coder into Luffield. Next side right behind Corey. He's drafting decently but isn't able to get up into those first two spaces. Next side gets 3 seconds put on for breaching the track limit clause. He should know better. Some of these cars have pit, Phantom is pit onto softs, and Lay of Salt will just pit onto mediums. Everyone else still on the tires they came out with. Coder leading the pack. Three seconds separate first and second place. Solar, fourth place with the mediums. So this is the other point that I was talking about. Solar has the mediums. He won't have to pit for a while. Way after the first three cars have pit. Solar has somehow kept up with the front three runners, all on softs, and has managed to not take any penalties as well. Things are looking really bright for Solar right now as he pushes on for Red Bull Racing. Kieran will be happy with the results. I think Kieran is Red Bull Racing president. He'll be happy with the performance that Solar is putting on so far. We're still into the first fourth of the race. Oh! And we see Corey attempt an overtake outside at Stowe. He goes wheel to wheel. They almost touch, but they don't. These are pros, ladies and gentlemen. These are pros. Corey overtakes Coda, but only like a gentleman would. They push on now into Village, into the loop as Coda follows. Coda will get the benefit of DRS. Oh, and we have contact between the Red Bull and the Haas. They both got left behind. Coda and Sewell now released 5 seconds now ahead of the rest of the pack. Coda and Corey, Performance Racing League's version of Lewis and Max. They're having it out here at Silverstone, but they are not doing what Hamilton did, and which was, in my estimation, a very dirty move in pushing Max off. These guys have a lot more manners. They want to win this race cleanly. I'm talking mad trash about Mercedes right now. So, you know, I hope there's some memes later on in the chat section. Both of these guys, I want to go to the other guys, but to the other pilots, and I will cycle through them. But right now, these guys are just on each other. Corey right behind Coda, but he isn't giving up more than a second. He's now 3. It's almost like in the straights. Oh, Coda has spun. What does this mean for Alpine? Coda spins. Goes down into 6th, loses 5 places. McLaren now with the 1-2. Corey released to lead the pack. 4 seconds in front of Chaz. Chaz, 4 seconds behind Corey, but 2 seconds in front of Husky, the Mercedes. Now, 8 laps onto his softs. I'm so glad I'm not sober for this. I am so glad. This is amazing. This race has been so far a thriller here at Silverstone as these pilots are delivering. They all want points. Radtex following close behind Husky. I'll check fastest lap later. I'm sure one of the front runners might have it. But I'll check later as it becomes a little bit more relevant and as the gas, fuel load lightens up for all these cars. Obviously, some of these cars will be playing the fastest lap game later on into the race. Solar, pit for hards. And he cops a 3-second penalty at the beginning of Maggots and Beckett's. Solar on to the hards now, seemingly no plans to pit again. He might want to take these hards to the end of the race, and why not? If there isn't any safety car, then that might just be the move for him. Okay, so let's see how behind he is from the leader. Okay, leader's times look like this. Solar is 44 seconds behind the leader, Corey. Silverstone is one of the longest. It's not one of the longest, but it's in the top end of the longest pit times, pit lanes for your season. So you'll spend about 30 seconds, I think, in the pit set, probably a little bit more. It might be feasible, but let's hope that those hards give that Red Bull an advantage. Salt, a few seconds behind Solar, but he's on mediums. Salt rocking that 33 Verstappen number. Have no idea how he did that. Probably got the Verstappen glitch. We'll be looking to not lose any more seconds and stay right behind Solar. Phantom in the Haas, running a minute behind, a few seconds behind on softs again. Phantom might be on a 2-stop strategy. If he pit for those stops, he might be wanting to pit again. There's no way he's gonna take those stops to the end. Back with the leader, Corey. Corey in first, going down the Wellington straight, 5 seconds clear of his teammate, Little Chaz. Both of these guys on 10-lap stops. We're going on lap 11. Will they pit? And will they pit in the same lap? Will McLaren opt to double stack? So as I was saying earlier, Wikipedia is my best friend. It's helped me write many essays back in my day. And right now, Wikipedia is saying that the Silverstone Circuit is on the site of a Royal Air Force bomber station, RAF Silverstone, which was operational between 1943 and 1946. The station was the base for number 17 Operational Training Unit. The airfield's 3 runways, in classic World War II triangle format, lie within the outline of the present track. So there's 3 runways within the goddamn circuit. That's fucking awesome. Sorry for my language. I'm so sorry for my language, but that's really, really cool. The circuit straddles the Northamptonshire and Buckinghamshire border as it is accessed from the nearby A43. The Northamptonshire towns of Towcester and Brackley and Buckinghamshire town of Buckingham. The nearest large towns are Northampton and Milton Keynes. Silverstone was the first used for motorsport by an ad hoc group of friends who set up an impromptu race in 47. That's awesome. That's really amazing. Silverstone is a great track. Corey pits for mediums, comes out of the pit lane in 4th. Little Chaz says, I'll pit a lap later. Team orders. Corey's the faster guy. Little Chaz has to take the next lap over. Those engineers can't double stack. We all know McLaren engineers are a little slow. Husky riding 2nd place. Being challenged by Yestin in the Aston Martin. Yestin showing demonstrably more talent than Lance Stroll ever could. I bet you if we took any pilot from Tier 1 or Tier 2 and actually gave them the Aston Martin Lance Stroll seat, they would immediately start to put in better times in the real life seat. Yestin takes number 2 away, takes the number 2 position away from Husky. Husky opts to pit. Yestin on those mediums. Again, the mediums strategy seeming to be the right call for some of these guys like Yestin. Yestin has been the only medium runner to not have pit. That is Phantom who comes out. He just lapped Phantom, who just came out with new mediums as well. Was that Phantom? Yeah, that was Phantom who just came out with new mediums. Little Chaz did not pit on his 11th lap. He stayed on. I'm sorry, on his 12th lap. He stayed on, and this is now his 13th lap on those original softs. And Yestin on the mediums is just chewing up the clock right behind him. So Little Chaz needs to pit. This has to be his lap to pit now. He will lose a lot of time if he doesn't pit this lap. Those softs are dead. Corey, 18 seconds. He is in that first position, theoretically, as Yestin and Little Chaz both still have to pit, and Little Chaz pushes on into the pit lane. We're right on board with him. See how those McLaren guys fare. Will it be the regular 2.6 seconds? Yep, because it's a fucking bot. Oh, I'm sorry. I need to stop cursing. I forget this is a PG stream. Wait, will we get demonetized? Is one of the admins secretly taking in Twitch Prime payments that we don't know about? Huh. Huh, I wonder. Now I'm curious. Alright, anywho. Little Chaz is released. Out of the pit straight he goes. In between Coder and Radtex. Radtex did not like that one bit. He was already fighting Coder. And now he has Little Chaz's McLaren in front of him to deal with. Yeah, I would be mad if you're going out and you get... I don't think he was undercut. I think he was... Oh! That was a very, very risky move by Little Chaz. Coder got swerved onto by Little Chaz, and Coder had to... I saw that I think that they'll be able to use some of that footage from the stream later on. Little Chaz, I think he lost control accidentally, or check braked. And Coder had to brake and go off track to avoid contact with Little Chaz. I think Little Chaz might have got penalized for that, but I'm glad there wasn't any contact. But that did push Coder down into the time, so that can't be good at all for Coder. There might be some further penalization for Little Chaz. Unfortunately, at least there wasn't any contact. No one will have to pit. Radtex with 3-second time penalty. We are riding on board with your leader. Yes, Tim. Remember, Driver of the Week performance will be voted on based on whoever had the best performance. You can suggest, if you were watching the stream, or if you see the standings, you were aware of who had a good performance, you can suggest in the chats, and it will be taken into consideration. We want to reward. I'm losing my mind here. We want to reward. How do you say that word? Reward. You English Brits, you say reward. It actually sounds more proper. You guys want to reward and incentivize good driving, so Driver of the Week awards go to the best performance. Usually it's a recovery, or it's either a driver who was able to maintain first place for the entirety of the race. So vote for your favorite Driver of the Week performance in the Discord. If you don't have Discord and you're watching, feel free to comment on the chat, and one of our guys will send you a Discord link. If you would like to try out for Performance Racing League, we are always looking for new pilots. You can always drop in and try to qualify. See if you feel a lot of requirements to fulfill your dreams and to be a Tier 1 or Tier 2 pilot. You too can have the glory of winning a driver's championship. All you have to do is believe in yourself, and you can achieve it. You can become a Performance League Racing World Championship holder. And we are in, man, I'm honestly, I should be like a British dude. Like, if I ever break the law here, I want to like leave and go to Britain. But I don't know if you guys have a extradition law or not, But Britain, UK would be the first place I would leave to. Just because it's like I get along with like every British person I've ever met. Like, I love them, seriously. I love your accents. I love how you mispronounce English words all the time. I love how you invented like new ways to like say names that don't make sense only to you guys. I love how you guys voted for Boris Johnson, I think. Like, I love how you guys got mad at the guys who voted Boris Johnson. Was it Boris? Yeah, the fucking Labour Party dude. Was it Labour Party? I don't know anything about UK politics, man. So like, I'm just talking shit here to rattle some cages. Hopefully, I'm just roasting people, man. I can't not have fun. You can't just tell me to commentate alone for the entirety of the race and then not have me go crazy and mental, and like ramble on halfway through it. That's not how it works. I'm professional, but only to a T. If I'm alone, I'm gonna start rambling. I'm glad these pilots have showed an immense amount of professionalism and not crashed, except for Kenzie. But he's in a Ferrari, so, Ferraris are like destined to crash. So far, Nexal on 7-lap mediums, fighting for second place. He might be able to keep that. Let me look at the penalties now. Now is where Corey with fastest lap. Let's see, penalties. All right, so no, he won't. Nexai has a 9-second penalty. There we go. So we have the intervals out, and now we have the penalties out. So Nexai, 9-second penalty. Ratex 7 seconds behind him. So there's a 2-second margin that Ratex would have to fulfill to stay within to get second. But Ratex also has 6 seconds. Oh my God, they all have penalties. Little Chaz gets a pass on Ratex, but he has 9 seconds. So Ratex has to stay within 3 seconds of Little Chaz, and he'll keep podium. And Yeston is 2 seconds within Ratex. So Yeston might actually be in line for podium. Anything can happen in Silverstone when you have pilots racking up penalties. Bonsai was supposed to be here. But he probably isn't going to make it. Let me text him. Might have to write out the interview to the end. The stream to the end of the race. No problemo. On board with Yeston right now, following his lap around Silverstone as he comes down Old Pit Straight. Right in front of him is Ratex, who's trailing Little Chaz. Husky gets another 3-second penalty. Husky now, oh! Husky and Salt's Red Bull both collide. Salt has 23 seconds of penalties. Husky has 9 seconds of penalties. Hey man, if you were me, I'd fire Salt and like hire me for Red Bull, you know, because I wouldn't write a penalty like that. I'm just saying, you know, like, I'd be a better tier 1 seat than he would. Just look at those penalties, man. 23 seconds. Salt had contact with Husky. I wasn't on board to see that, so I don't know who was at fault. There will surely be a claim in the steward's room about that racing incident. I wonder who was at fault there, because they definitely made contact. Salt lost his front wing. Back on board with Corey. Corey, no penalties, leading the pack. 8 seconds in front of Nexai. Nexai, 9-second penalty. 7, still about 7.9, nearly 8. Yeah, now 8 seconds in front of Little Chaz. Little Chaz with 12-second penalty probably won't be able to get to that second place, but he might be able to keep third. Because Ratex... Wait, what? No, Ratex is on Little Chaz. Ratex will probably keep third if he stays ahead. Little Chaz just gets passed by Yeston. Little Chaz loses in the blink of an eye the third place position. The yellow flags, sector 1, someone must have gone off. Green flags. Course is clear. So Little Chaz gets the third position back, but because of penalties, he is still in 5th. And Solar, who is 5 seconds behind Yeston, suffers from 3-second penalty, so he's actually 8 seconds behind. The Red Bulls now will probably be doomed to a second half of the table finish. Unfortunately, thanks to a slow race by them. I think it was the hards and some unfortunate contact with other pilots. You know, when you're not in that first pack, you're just always going to be losing time. If you're not faster than the car in front of you, then you're going to be losing time no matter what. And unfortunately, these Red Bulls were not able to catch up to the beginning of the pack. Might have been a misjudgment from Solar to get onto hards. Maybe medium was the way to go. Maybe hards weren't necessarily the best compound for the second stint of this race. Nexai with a 3-second penalty. Now Nexai and Little Chaz both have a 12-second penalty. Meaning that Ratex might be in the running for second. Wow. Wow, and Yestin might be in the running for third. They can manage, Ratex and Yestin can manage to stay behind Nexai and Little Chaz. They might be able to stay with podium as we have 5 laps left in the Silverstone Grand Prix. The British Grand Prix, rather, I'm sorry. Which is being hosted by Silverstone. Since I'm a nerd, I'll throw another interesting fact at you. Silverstone Circuit is a motor racing circuit in England near the northern Hamptonshire villages of Silverstone and Wilbury. It is the current home of the British Grand Prix, which it first hosted as the 1948 British Grand Prix. The 1950 British Grand Prix at Silverstone was the first race in the newly created World Championship of Drivers. The race rotated between Silverstone, Aintree and Brands Hatch from 55 to 86, but settled permanently at the Silverstone track in 87. The circuit also hosts the British round of the MotoGP series. On 30th of September 2004, the British Racing Drivers Club President Jackie Stewart announced that the British Grand Prix would not be included in the 2005 provisional race calendar, and if it were, would probably not occur at Silverstone. However, on December 9th, an agreement was reached with former Formula One rights holder Bernie Ecclestone, ensuring that the track would host the British Grand Prix until 2009, after which Donington Park would become the new host. However, the Donington Park leaseholders, Donington Ventures Leisure, ran into severe financial problems and went into administration because they were broke. They were broke boys, resulting in the British Racing Drivers Club signing a 17-year deal with Ecclestone to hold the British Grand Prix at Silverstone. The escalating costs of the British Grand Prix, capitalism, led to the British Racing Drivers Club triggering a break clause in their contract, meaning that the 2019 British Grand Prix would be the last at the Silverstone Circuit. There was speculation of a street race in London. Although there was speculation of a street race in London, lengthy negotiations with Liberty Media have led to a new agreement for Silverstone to continue to host the British Grand Prix for a further 5 years after 2019. So in real life, we might only get Silverstone until 2024. Thanks to Liberty Media and negotiating by them. Liberty Media are the fuckers who... sorry for cursing. Liberty Media is the honorable group, which is now, they're the guys in charge of all the new licenses, the whole new media takeover that's like pushing, the Instagram posts, the vlogs, everything out. All the new content that you can see from F1 is being negotiated by Liberty Media to sort of spread the word of F1. Even some of these new games and there's a lot of new popularity going on with an attempt to popularize Formula One, and this is the efforts of Liberty Media. Anywho, enough of me being a nerd. Corey Sewell is leading the race as we go around Silverstone for the 23rd time. Nexai 5 seconds behind. That's a gain. So Corey Sewell is cruising. Corey says, I got it in the bag. Guys behind me, they don't stand a chance. I feel sad for Coder because Coder, we know he's fast, we know he has the pace, and he is leading the championship. He's a championship leader, but unfortunately today he wasn't able to, hold that first position. He spun out. Salt gets a 5-second penalty for ignoring the blue flag. Corey remained in first. Nexai, oh no, Corey gained a position. Nexai gained 3. Yestin gained 4. Ratex gained 4. Coder dropped 5. Husky dropped 1. Chaz gained 1. Salt dropped 6. And Phantom dropped 2. And Kenzie, well, we all know the Ferraris are gonna end up last anyway. I'm so mean to the Ferraris, man. I love you guys, man. I love everyone. All these roasts, guys, all these roasts, it's just love. It's nothing but love. I love everyone. Gotta have some fun, you know. Corey Sewell's on 11 lap mediums. Nexai's on 14 lap mediums. Yestin on 6 lap softs. Lay of Salt right now is holding fastest lap. He will get that extra point as he is in the points. All 10 cars, obviously, are in the points. So even Phantom will go away with a point. Salt will go away with 2 and 3 thanks to that fastest lap. Sewell is a no, probably doesn't have to hit. His best course would be to just keep those softs on for 2 more laps and take the win home. Oh, I just saw your message, Bonsai. Here, let me invite you. I don't even know where you're at. Yeah, I don't see you, man. Bonsai, if you're watching the stream or something, invite me to the party. If you're not, it's fine. I will finish up the stream. Oh, Nexai spins out. Oh man, I came back into the live stream just in time to see Nexai hit the barriers and potentially lose him his. Oh, was he gonna get podium? He might have gotten podium. Ratex also lost a few places. No, Nexai has 18 seconds. Wow. Nexai pits. This will be everything for him. Solar might just be on podium again. He's got a 6-second penalties. Yep. Solar might just be looking to take podium. Here we go into the last lap of the British Grand Prix. We have Corey leading the pack. Yestin. Wait, what? There we go. We have Yestin in the 2nd place. We have Solar right behind him, but with a 6-second penalty, so he won't be able to snatch that 2nd place away. We are on board with Coder as he goes down Chapel Straight into Stowe. Corey, there's a Coder. Corey, now only a couple of turns left to negotiate between him and Gold. Corey passes Vale Club and the line, taking home the British Grand Prix glory. 1st place goes to McLaren. We are on board now with Yestin. Let's see how the final cars lay out. Yestin will take 2nd. Solar will take 3rd. On board now with Coder. Coder takes fourth. He'll take that all day. Radtex, 6 seconds behind. 6 seconds penalties, 12 seconds behind. Little Chaz finishes 7th. Husky finishes 6th. Nexai refuses to finish. Oh, donuts. He's doing donuts. Because that's how far in front of the other Red Bull he is. And the Red Bull was lapped. Yestin was your predetermined driver of the day. But the chat will have a say about that. What an exciting race of Silverstone we had today. Man, look, sometimes when I'm stoned, I have a British accent, so just deal with it, alright? I'm not gonna explain myself to you guys. If you are with us live, we will be talking to the pilots shortly. So stay tuned for their reactions to the race. Alright, we are here live now with Bonsai. Hey there, bud.
Alright.
So, like, I'm pretty stoned, so, like, for half of the stream, I did a British accent, so hopefully the viewers like that.
Imagine being stoned while doing a stream. Couldn't be me.
Alright, we should be loading back into lobby right now. Oh man, here, did they take a screenshot of the lineup? I didn't take a picture.
Neither did I. We'll get on stream.
Here, let's talk to Corey first. Let's invite him. Select. Yestin was second place.
Yeah,
he was.
Yeah. And then it was...
And then Solar was third.
Solar, yeah.
Alright, send an invite to all of them. They should be joining right now. I can't see the... here, I'm looking at the party now. Are you joining?
No, I'm inviting them now. Maybe none of them are wanting to? I don't know.
Oh shit, dude. The sprint race just started. Hold on, let me put on the Brazil. Brazil just started.
Oh, is that on us?
Yeah, that's right now. Literally right at 1 or like literally 1300, whatever. Literally 9 minutes ago just started.
Alright. I was about to say something. Oh, have you seen about what may happen to Thingy?
To who, Lewis?
Yeah.
Yeah, because his DRS was like wide open.
It was no. Basically, there's this tool where it measures how large when it's open, it measures how big it is. And I think
yeah, it's too big,
it
too wide.
85 millimeters or something. And if it goes through, it's illegal. But if it gets stopped, then it's legal. And Max was checking compared to his, and his one was bigger.
Yep. And Max got fined 50,000 pounds.
Why?
For touching it.
Oh,
For touching it.
actually.
You're not supposed to. Yeah. I'll show you the. Fuck. It was on. I'm sorry, man. I shouldn't be cursing on stream. I'm so sorry. I should. On Facebook, I found they shared the FIA letter. He got fined 50,000 pounds for touching it. The whole time they're like judging from the video, Max Verstappen did not use enough force to damage, like from his posture and from the way he touched it. There's no way he could have like damaged it.
Yeah, you do
So it's
see him. You
fine.
touch it very lightly, but
Yeah,
still.
yeah, but they right, but they find him for touching. They're like, we don't like that you like. I think he said Verstappen said that it's sort of like a lot of pilots have the habit of doing it, and they're like, yeah, we get it, but like we want to discourage that or whatever. So just we get that you were like we get it, but just like we're not finding you anything like places or anything, but you are gonna uh, pay 50 grand, 50 racks, bro. What?
That's sad.
Right, dude. Just touching a car, 50 grand. Like what, dude? Come on, bro. Like just yeah,
Max,
Max has to pay 50 grand for touching Lewis's car. Dude, yeah, you just touched it. Corey, is your party set to broadcast audio?
Now, yeah.
All right. We are live here with Corey, your Silverstone British Grand Prix winner. Corey, that was a great race from the get-go. Did you take pole, I believe? You took pole, right? Or did Coder
No, I
just snatch it
started
away from you?
P2.
Yeah,
I think he
yeah,
got me by like a
Coder just
tenth.
yeah, he just took it away from you, but it was a good race from both of you for like most of the first half. Can you talk us through your race and like how you felt coming into it and your emotions of holding out to the end and being able to take it?
I practiced quite a bit for this, and I usually quite like Silverstone, so I expected to do fairly well in the race. But yeah, we had some good battles with Coda, and he sent up the inside of Cops, and I so thought it was going to be a Verstappen Hamilton all over again. Because I tried closing the door and then he just snuck it up the inside, and I was crapping myself. But yeah, after he spun in turn one, it was okay. I managed to just chill and relax and just sort of take the win.
Yeah. You and Coder had some action-packed laps where for about I think it was I don't remember by which laps exactly, but it was about 3 laps straight where you guys were just wheel to wheel
Yeah,
trading first and second. That was some of the most intense, racing that I've seen, and I had a lot of fun watching both of you guys have it out.
yeah, that was very scary to do. I can't lie.
Yeah, unfortunately for Coder, I don't remember exactly what lap, but he spun out. He was in first, and I think he spun out right in front of you, and you were able to just
Yeah.
cruise on and unbothered to first. So congrats for the win, Corey. It was a brilliant performance.
Cheers, thank you.
Yep. Did anyone else join? I think you were the only one. So yeah.
Yeah, it was only you.
All right. So thanks, mate. Thank you. Enjoy the win, bro.
Alright,
Viva
thank you.
McLaren. Force the McLaren, bro.
Let's go.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. That was your British Grand Prix. I'm Matt Rolo, and with me was Bonsai, closing out the stream. Thank you guys for tuning in. And the Brazilian sprint race is about to start in like 10 minutes. So go watch that if you're watching this right now live. Turn this off and go watch that. Adios, guys. Have a good one.